very happy to have students and teachers from each Nordic and Baltic country. So that includes Iceland, Sweden, Denmark, Finland, Norway, and Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania. So almost 30 students participating and 10 plus teachers involved in all this. But nevertheless, we are using... Workshop is focusing on spatial sound, but spatial sound may have different aspects or different contexts. And we're trying to explore these contexts, first of all working in different kind of groups. The groups which work just purely with electroacoustic sound, the groups which work with live musicians and live electronics processing, as well as improvised sound and working together in groups, creating on spot. So like we can accommodate the needs of or will of way to work of each participant in a way. Another thing is that the aims, as you asked, the aims of the project are connected in spatial sound also in several aspects. One aspect is actually again making people aware that the spatial sound exists, and it's a very powerful tool, very powerful artistic tool, because anyway we always hear and use sound in space. Another thing is that ambisonic aspects of spatial sound we are exploring are now getting used in industry settings, in things like 360 video and virtual reality things. So it might be also some useful skills how to mix and operate spatial sounds also in the context of wider, so to say, spectrum of activities, even in the creative industry. And also another thing is that we also want to make people or listeners aware of the spatial sound and its possibilities and its immersion. So therefore we are also this year having the concerts outside of the academy in the club, Peleda, to also approach the public more.
One of the outcomes is really that since you are meeting so many different artists and so many different ways of working, and because now you not only listen to the pieces but you look into everybody's working process, and therefore you can really learn a lot about new ways of working, and you see a lot of projects which means that within a week you actually look at many more projects in depth than you normally do. So you actually get a lot of ideas, and I hope and I'm really sure that all the students also, now I'm talking as a teacher, but I think that all the students also get a lot of inputs, a lot of new ideas, artistically and technically.
I think there are quite good improvements in this year setting. The first one being that there are two spaces, the concert space who will host more audience, and also that give the possibility to have parallel rehearsals and parallel developments. I also think that it has been very interesting this year that there is a group of tutoring, so the tutoring has moved from one-to-one to many-to-many. That's a very good interaction between the tutoring group and the students' works.
Well, I think for sure the fact that we have the students and the teachers all come together to work with the technology here, and everyone's kind of figuring out how to make it work, and because of that I think the learning experience for all of us, it's been the strongest point, because with so many projects, so many people, there's bound to be loads of problems, and once you solve those problems, then you know how to do that in the future as well, hopefully.
I think I really truly enjoyed working in a group It's something that you don't experience that often, that we were working as a group, kind of like we were all everybody was a producer. And I think that's been the best part.
Yes, actually, students are very interesting persons. They have very funny, very amazing presentations. I'm waiting for something interesting, and they are very interested in all aspects of how to employ their ideas spatially. And I have more deals with the acoustic aspects of players, how musical forms can be connected with spherical, with spatial thinking. Yes.
Just as last year, we have some, students that are studying a bit different things. I mean, some are perhaps more towards sound art, and some are studying more traditional composition, and some electroacoustic music. So the field that the students are working in are rather broad, I would say, and that is very interesting and very good thing, I think, for a workshop like this, because everybody can share a lot of their experiences, really, and that is really fine. I mean, now when you go around here helping people, it's quite different projects, and I was just in the Sphere and listened to some rehearsal. It sounded very interesting and very different from what I was just helping someone else with. So that is a very nice thing, I think, because since there are so many different ways of working, we can also learn a lot from each other.
I think we can separate purely technological help, where it's of course always needed. You know, when you have hundreds of virtual channels going somewhere, you have to route them and put them together in the right way and choose the right things and then click right boxes in the interface somewhere deep down there. So this is one kind of help which we try to provide to everyone. Another kind of help, of course, is more conceptual or connected to the ideas, and I think also during the free time we have discussions about aesthetics and things, how to utilize the spatial sound or certain electroacoustic plugins and so on, to have the meaning and to open up the piece. So I mean, it's also, you know, not less important part than the technological one.
The teachers here were really great, really helpful, and from everyone I learned something different because of the varying backgrounds that they come from. I think it's amazing how many professionals we have around the Nordic and Baltic countries in so many different fields of music, and it's great.
I think they're crazy people, in a good way. They all know a lot of things, and I think it will take centuries for me to learn as much as they know. And well, also knowing, having last year's experience, this year is even more of information, which is amazing.
I think it's been really interesting that we have teachers who have loads of technical information, especially from ambisonics. I think it's really interesting. They know their fields really well, and it's been a real pleasure to work with them. They have been so helpful with helping to make the project come together.
It's really nice to work. Everybody's so happy, and so we are here to work, and it's a good energy.
I'm still very positively surprised about the musicians. They are amazing. This is something any composer dreams about. Very forward-coming musicians that play really, really well.
For us, it's very exciting, but it's very new experience because we never worked like that. We worked with setup electronics, but this is very new because it's work in progress and also it's new experiences because of the sphere sound. So it's just joy to experience this. As I said, the concert for us is most interesting part of this work because we are curious what's going to happen in the end because we haven't heard all of them yet.
I would say that partly I come here as a student, in a sense that I never worked professionally with ambisonics, and generally my experience with spatial sound is quite limited. So for me it's also enriching. That's a field which is growing constantly, and there are new things and there are new possibilities, and I think it will still go for many years, this development, so it's important to understand where we are at the moment.
I can see many, including some industries, very interested in the developments that are going into the academy, in the academic world, because of the virtual reality, notably, or cinema, and other forms of media performances that includes an immersive experience visually and orally.
One interesting thing, since I work very much with theatre, it's very, very, I would say, useful and interesting for theatre works because you can really create realistic spaces. And that is a thing that hasn't been done that much. There is a lot of interesting investigations to do really with ambisonic work in theatre, or I mean in dance works and so on. Stage works that is not concerts, but where you can really. So I think there is actually, if we talk about future, I think that there is something that you can really develop and explore very much.
It's amazing. I never heard of it before, but it's really cool. It's a real experience. It should be, many more people should experience it, I think, in like cinemas and galleries and stuff. It could be really effective. So cool.
Now I sort of know more what to expect and what is physically possible inside that room and system. And I already have made unscheduled plans to return here and create more pieces. I think it's amazing that you can move sound so directly.
Like, it changed the way I work and it changed me for good. But overall, I think we get a taste of how this works, and this should be enough to keep us going for some time at least, and that's really good.
It's really, really interesting. It's something that I wish that everybody should experience, and I think it's really cool that we have, for example, a club tonight in here, so there's going to be locals experiencing it. It's really, really broad, and I want to get more in depth with that, definitely. It was really new to me.